This is, a common saying. I saw, I was at the gym earlier today, and this woman's bag, it says something like, blessed is the woman that walketh with God, or something like that, or something along those lines. Some third wave feminism bullshit, packaged into, pseudo Christianity, you know, belief or doctrine or whatever. So, nevertheless, you know, uh, looking at her, you can tell one of those hair hat, older, probably 60, mid 60, you know, uh, tell she's wearing a wig. And you could just know, you already know that she's not, she's of this world. She's not been transformed by the renewing of their mind. So, you saying you blessed? You believe you blessed? That's that Christian spirit. Well, let's read according to the scriptures. It's in Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1, the very beginning of Psalms. The first book, first chapter. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. So that's somebody that's blessed right there. That's a man that's blessed right there. Claiming that you blessed? Are you sitting with sinners and making your conversation with them? This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6. You know, not to say that Yahweh Shai didn't sit with sinners, but he was what, trying to help and also show his disciples that, yeah, you got to be a light unto the Gentiles. And any Israelite that's not following after the laws, the statutes, and commandments is walking already in a Gentile state of mind. But verse 2, back in Psalms 1 and 2, read it again. It says, but his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So you're supposed to be thinking about this all day. All day. That's meditating on the law of the Heavenly Father, because that's how you rebuke these demons and these spirits. That's, putting on that full armor. Realistically, are you going to be able to think about 24/7? No. I mean, can you think about the scriptures when you are, you know, uh, let's say you got a assignment to do at work, and you got to, let's say you're an engineer or electrician or something you got to do, you got to calculate. You're not going to be able to give the Most High Heavenly Father his undivided attention. You're just not going to. I mean, you still got to work and stuff like that. Unless you got like a blue collar job where, let's say, you can drive, you can listen to the scripture, stuff like that. And even then, you're not really giving the Most High undivided attention because you still gotta, look. You can't take notes when you listen to the brothers' videos. You gotta remember off the top of your head. You can't. There's a lot of stuff you can't do versus when you got your undivided attention strictly given to something. But this is Luke chapter 11 and verse 24. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through the dry places seeking rest, and finding none, he saith, I will return unto my house whence I came out, which is your mind. Unclean spirits, the spirits we battle with. When you Verse 25, when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. So the you battling this demon, it leaves your mind. It goes, it walks, and it seeks rest, but it can't find. If you ever seen the movie Venom, that's a good example. Venom, the symbiote needed a host, and it always would go back to Eddie Brock. It would go with the other hosts, and it just wasn't there. It just wasn't it. But it wasn't nothing like Eddie Brock. It says, when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. So you exercise that demon out of you. That demon comes back. He's like, man, it's nice in here. He find it swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh to him seven other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than his first. So that man wasn't meditating all day and all night. He came and he saw that place was swept and garnished. He would have came back and saw that place. Man, that brother's occupied on their law. That brother is making sure that I don't come back. That brother is, standing on top of it. He thinking about not committing adultery 24/7, or about how beautiful it is to keep the law, statutes, commandments. And let's say that demon had you commit adultery. I can't come back here. That brother mind is occupied on the law. That's the part where it's keeping these demons out. So are you meditating day and night? Are you serving the Lord with all your heart and all your soul? That's how you really are blessed. Are you truly blessed? You say you're blessed, right? Well, you're only blessed according to the scriptures if you do that. Think about the law day and night, and you love His law. The advantage that we have is that we actually know the law. There's people in this world that don't know the laws of Moses. All they know is the Ten Commandments, and some of them don't even know all 10. Probably can't even name 5 of them. Reading on. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Are you truly blessed? Because Satan can give you some trinkets. You know, but are you? You're not truly blessed. We'll be blessed when we're in the kingdom, when we keep the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly. And by keeping them perfectly, guess what that means? We won't go off, we won't sin, and the blessings will pour down upon us. This is uh Genesis 30 and 7. 30 and 27. Did I say 30 and 7? 30 and 27. It says, and Laban said, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahweh have blessed me for thy sake. So when he was getting blessed, there was things that was coming to him. But guess what? He understood there was a blessing because what? Of what he did, the favor that he was showing to Israel or Jacob, and what Jacob was doing for him. Most High was blessing him and increasing him. Is your blessing coming from keeping the law, such as commandments? Well, I'm gonna grab one more other precept. This is Genesis 15. It says, uh, where is it at? Genesis 15. Uh, no, it's not in Genesis 15. I thought it was Salakia. I'm gonna have to end up finding it. Uh, but meanwhile, I'll go ahead and grab while I'm in Genesis. Salakia for that. That's a mental note I'm gonna have to make for myself. This is oh damn. I think I do might know where it's at. Uh, this is Genesis chapter 27. No, not that's Isaac's blessing. Genesis 26 and verse. Okay, matter of fact, 27 and 26. Salakia. Genesis 27 and 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of raiment and blessed him and said, Smell the smell. And said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yahweh have blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. That's when you're blessed. When people are serving you, when they are bowing down to you. That's when you're blessed. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesseth thee. That's one of the things that Jacob Laban did. He understood. Damn, man, I'm getting, man, it's a blessing when Jacob's around. Hey, remember uh who was that? Um, trying to think. Who was it in the scriptures? Uh uh I know it was Toy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I think David had beat the Syrians, and King Toy had came and basically thanked David, and basically sending them like silver and gold, saying thank you, man. I've been warring with them, and they've been a pest to me, and it was kind of like a don't whip my ass fee, basically unto David, you know, and it was well unto them. There's brothers who got their personal testimonies of you know, good things happening when their family in the world do good things for them. Or let's say, uh, you're in a block that gets robbed and shot up all the time, and your mom, your sister, your brother, your cousin, or something like that stay there. But when you come over, they feel this hedge over them, and nothing bad ever happens. Or they say, when you hear store no rob, when you gone store rob. I had my cousin basically. She said basically, well, she didn't tell me. She too prideful to tell me. She told my grandmother. My grandmother told me that basically, uh, when I'm not there, she has like demons and spirits be messing with her and afflicting her. And guess what? when I am there, did I say that right? Yeah, when I'm not there, demons and spirits be afflicting her. When I am there, like they don't. You know, you do bad to me, bad stuff happen to you. You do good things, good stuff happen to me. Scripture talks about he that giveth the prophet a cup of water shall receive a prophet's reward. It's a blessing when you do good to a prophet. That's something that's good unto you. You should be looking forward to doing good. The Shulamite woman in 2 Kings chapter 4 and verse 8, I believe. Let me grab that. I don't want to get all into it, but just want to make up a little time for that brief that pause that I had while I was doing this video. I feel like I cheated. This is 2 Kings chapter 4 verse. Okay. 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 7. And it fell on a day that Elisha passed to Shunem, where was a great woman, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in thither to eat bread. So basically, she was a woman that was showing favor to Elisha the prophet. And she said unto her husband, behold, now I perceive that this is a holy man of God, which passeth by us continually. So she was just doing it because, her spirit, it was on her spirit to do it. Then after a while of constantly doing it, she's like, man, I think this is a man of God. And people get that feeling when they're around you if you're a man of God. It feel like something's different about you. I feel safe. They might not, and trust me, a lot of times they're not even going to tell you. They might notice that every time you deliver a package to their house, and you always do it. You have a good day that day, or you catch the bus every time you're a bus driver. Always have a good ride, or you come to work. The days when you don't come to work, it weeks you off. Things go to hell in a handbasket, and they attribute that to you. Then uh other nations they were blessed by showing favor to us. Belshazzar in Daniel the 6th chapter, I want to say maybe the 11th verse or the 16th verse. But he put Daniel in the lion's den and he came back. He couldn't sleep. He was like, "Oh, Daniel, damn. Wow, like even your God can deliver you from this?" Yeah. And he put Daniel the third rank in his kingdom. Now his kingdom fell right afterwards, but nevertheless, Daniel still had a high status in the Persians and the Medes. If you keep reading, he was able to interpret dreams. Joseph, he interpreted dreams over in Egypt when he was sold by his brethren. Verse 10, let us make a chamber, I pray thee, on the wall. On the wall means on the roof. And let us set for him there a bed and a table and a stool and a candlestick. And it shall be, when he cometh to us, that he shall turn in hither. Verse 11, and it fell on a day that he came thither, and he turned into the chamber and lay there. And he said to Gehazi his servant, call this Shumanite woman. And when he had called her, she stood before him. And he said unto him, say now unto her, behold, thou hast been careful for us with all this care. What is to be done for thee? Wouldst thou be spoken for to the king or to the captain of the host? Meaning you want us to put a good word in for you? And she answered, I dwell among mine own people. So she basically ain't say nothing. Like, that was very actually humbling. And he said, what then is to be done for her? So he basically asked his servant. He said, and Gehazi answered, verily she hath no child, and her husband is old. So he was like, that's it. Verse 15. And he said, call her. And when he had called her, she stood in the door. And he said, about this season, according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son. And she said, nay, my lord, thou man of God, do not lie unto thine handmaid. And so she didn't even have faith. So she like, hey, quit your lying. Uh, uh, verse 18. Verse 17. And the woman conceived and bare a son at that season that Elisha had said unto her according to the time of life. That's a blessing to have a son. That was always a blessing to have a son, and that was, her doing good unto, the prophet, and her getting sevenfold. She built a place for him because he was doing this during the famine. Might I add you? There was a famine that was dearth in the land, and then she was looking out for him, and keep reading. Basically, child died, and then she went to Elisha, and Elisha went back and basically told the servant to lay his staff on his head, and the child still didn't wake up. And then Elisha ended up bracing his body across the child, and he ended up waking up. He was alive again. But in it, that's a blessing. You know. So on that note, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders G. Messer well. Peace, salutations, and shalom.